Mhm.
Hi, and welcome to the Professor Kev Show. Got my buddy Jaewon with us from DMUN Foundation. Good afternoon, my friend. How you doing?
Good. It is my pleasure to be on your show. I mean, I've seen a lot of great youth entrepreneurs here. Honored to participate.
Kind words, my friend. So jump in. Tell us about the foundation.
Yeah, so DMUN Foundation is the first nonprofit I founded. So it's originally founded in 2021, so when I was back in middle school. And
Mhm.
so we are a nonprofit that focuses on providing students across the world with opportunities to learn about international relations, political sciences, sustainability, and social justice. So if you can sort of guess by the name, it's MUN, right? So we originally started with a Model UN conference. It was a virtual conference that we did because it was, during COVID. And then
Yep.
we started expanding to other programs.
So back up a sec. You started this in middle school?
Yep, yep, you're right.
What made you do that at that age? That's impressive.
Well, back in middle school, I mean, I still sort of am, but I was really crazy about Model UN. I mean, I loved Model UN a lot. And I felt like, because it was COVID and everything, in-person conferences started to get canceled. And so I felt like, then what am I gonna do about Model UN, right? And I feel like for me, at least at the time, I felt like online Model UN, doing Model UN in platforms like Zoom was this new cool thing that I could do. And I realized that maybe, when I was searching for online modeling conferences, some of them weren't as well organized or didn't have a lot of topics or committees that I wanted to do. And I felt like, I felt like there was this need. And so I just said, maybe I can just get my friends that I met through Model UN together and just try to make something, make something work. So that was actually how the idea was built up. So in 2021, we started with one Model UN conference. We had two committees and we had about like 30 delegates. So it was really small at the time. But then, then the year after, we got to gain more popularity because we had a high academic caliber, just in terms of general conference quality too. So we became more well known among the online Model UN sphere. So we got to serve about, I think, 500 delegates for our second conference in 2022. In 2023, we served about 1,000. People for that conference. And then, we started expanding into other ventures. So, maybe it's Model UN, then we could do a bit of Model Parliament, Model Senate, maybe an essay competition about international relations topics or sustainability programs where they can learn about sustainable, how they can be sustainable, reduce their carbon footprint. So so we just started expanding into so many different avenues. And so I guess that's how we ended up here. So right now we have about 10 programs with a total net participant amount of about 17,000. And we have a staff team of about 60 people who come from different socioeconomic backgrounds. They come from so many different countries across the world. We have people working in South Korea, United States, Liberia, Kenya, Germany, you mentioned it. We have a lot of people working in so many different places. And, I feel like we have become an embodiment of diversity in a way.
Now, how did you find all these people across the world to be part of this?
I think it's just when you do business and you start connecting with people, you just naturally get to find people, right? Because, when I first started my Model UN conference, of course, I didn't know anyone. I didn't even have LinkedIn at the time, which is normal for a middle school student, but,
Yeah,
you
so
know,
you're in middle school, buddy. You got to give me
yeah.
something. Yeah.
Yeah. So what happened was just after the conference, some people were like, "Hey, we're from this Model UN. we're from Toronto Model UN. We're from this MUN, that MUN. We want to partner with you." And okay, or like they're like, "Hey, do you want to work at this MUN? Do you want to be a chair or something like that?" And I'm like, I like Model UN a lot, so I was like, any opportunity I got, I said yes to. I went there. I chaired people. I worked with them. I was a secretariat, and they're like, many of them are colleagues who formerly worked with me on other MUN. So they're like they knew my vision and my leadership quality because they were working with me. And then then I decided to expand my nonprofit. So I was just offering people to, recruiting them, saying, hey, we have this project going on. We want to expand, this Model UN conference to Model Parliament. We want a secretary who's really competent. Do you want to join? And then they join and then the friends of theirs join. Like we have built a system of recruitment by personal connections until about late 2022, where we started moving into a more transparent employment process where we have forms, we have a clear recruiting policy on what we want. We have a committee, an employment committee that deals with, should we, can he work in our nonprofit or not? We look at our qualifications. So it originally started small, but now, we have a wide demographic reach. So we are recruiting them through, massive hiring processes, which they can just register and apply in like platforms like LinkedIn or Google Forms.
So now, will the Model UN conference still be online? Are you doing something in person? How's it going to work in 2024?
Well, definitely. So the online multi-UN scene has decreased a lot because COVID itself is now gone.
Yep.
But I feel like there is a need because a lot of the problems that comes with in-person MUNs is that first it's expensive. Like you have transportation, you have like lodging, right? And you also have to pay for conference fees, which sometimes go from maybe $50 to about, I think conferences, in-person conferences in Malaysia go up to $800 per delegate.
Yikes.
And that's not with the hotel cost or like the, transportation, which is even worse. And I was like, sure, I want to expand in person, but what is the main mission that I founded this organization for, right? It's to make sure that everyone has the equitable opportunity to experience this, right?
Yep.
And so that's why most of our programs right now are still online, but it does not mean that we are not looking to expand to in-person programs. So we have teams trying to find venues. We're trying to find a city probably near North America or Europe where it can probably host a conference, possibly in the winter of 2024. And sadly, for that in-person conference, we won't be able to make it free. So there will be a registration fee, but we are trying to minimize costs by trying to minimize additional expenses. We're really going through that bare bones design to make sure that delegates only pay for what they need. And also we're trying to find we're collaborating with some sponsors and other partners to give out generous financial aid to students who need them. So, in person, we're trying to expand, but, in the forefront of all of this expansion, it's just about staying true to why I founded this and why our team spends their time and effort working for this cause.
So, Jay, how do we help you, my friend?
Yeah, so I feel like I feel like in an adult perspective about youth nonprofits, I feel like at least in general, there's this perspective of what I see here. In that, many students, I see so many students on platforms like LinkedIn who say they're the founder, they're the executive director of organizations like that. And I'm sure that many of them are students like me who are genuinely interested in what they do and they spend their time for it. But also because universities, like especially in the US where extracurriculars matter a lot, they like to do this for college. And then what I see is suddenly, oh, I got into college. Now my nonprofit suddenly disappears and it just falls apart. And I feel like here's the thing, because so many students do that, there's companies like actual consulting companies that makes nonprofits for them, so they don't actually have to do the hard lifting. Like people, I feel like the general public perception, especially the professional nonprofit community's perception against youth nonprofits are not the best. But I feel like that it's really important for them to understand that, just like, nonprofits that are led by adults, there's the good side of nonprofits, there's nonprofits who are not so good, right? So I feel like instead of just classifying youth nonprofits as, oh, you're doing this for college, your parents set it up, or your college consulting company set it up, like go to that nonprofit, like try to look at their financial report, like are they registered, what is their demonstrated impact, and see, is this nonprofit really here to make impact and make, tomorrow a better place than today, or is this nonprofit maybe not so much like that? I feel like stereotypes are really a big thing here.
Unfortunately. So what's the best way to reach out to you if people want to learn more, my friend?
Yes, definitely. So I do have a LinkedIn. You can just search Jaewon Choi, and then I'm sure there's a lot of Jaewon Choi, so you can just search DMUN next to it, and then I will probably pop up. You can email me at JaewonChoi at DMUN.org if you have any questions. You can visit DMUN at DMUN.org. And, if anyone watching this has any questions or would like to join the team, I'll invite them to just send me an email. I'll be happy to answer them with any questions, maybe follow up with them, and maybe connect them with people who work in my nonprofit. I'm here to help, so just reach out.
I appreciate you taking a couple minutes to call into the show, my friend, and thanks for being my friend.
Yep, great, thank you.